Hey there, Emma. I just wanted to let you know that I found that lunch that I made for you in the trash. Was there something wrong with what I cooked?
You mean that steaming pile of garbage you left on the counter for me? I'm going to be eating the school lunches from here on out. I don't ever want to have to taste your awful cooking again.
I don't understand what's gotten into you. I got up early just to make you your favorite. I know that you said you had a big meeting today, so I wanted to pack you something that you'd really like.
Ew! Don't ever say anything like that to me ever again. And just what are you trying to pull here anyways? You know we're not even related by blood, so I don't need you pretending to be my mom when we both know that you're not.
Emma, honestly, why are you acting this way towards me? I don't know what I did to you to deserve this kind of language. Why are you talking to me like this all of a sudden?
Oh, just shut up already, you stupid old hag. All the meddling you're doing is just negatively affecting me at work. I can't even focus now because I didn't have lunch at all, because it would mean I would have to force down your nasty slop.
That's not fair at all. I'm sure that there were other options you could have gotten to eat.
But it's not just the food, it's your whole existence that's ruining everything for me. And it's all your fault that I wasn't chosen to work on that big project for my job.
What is that supposed to mean?
Well, the meeting yesterday was about presenting proposals for our now product line we're releasing for Mother's Day. I worked on my ideas for 6 whole months, but my bosses went with another person's designs. If you were a better mother, then I would have to know how to appeal to moms better.
Well, I'm sure you worked very hard, and I'm sorry that your idea wasn't picked, but you can't really think that it's my fault, right?
And just what is that supposed to mean? I know that my ideas were perfect, and the other girl who presented looked like she had just thrown her proposal together the day before. So what I want to know is why wasn't mine picked? And the answer is because I don't have a real mom.
What do you mean by that?
Well, this new line was meant to market to moms, but I bet people in the office knew that I didn't have a mom. And so even though I had a great idea, I wasn't chosen. It's all your fault. If you weren't in my life, then people wouldn't have panned my project.
Emma, please just calm down for a little and think this through. I know the feeling of not having your idea chosen. It can hurt your pride and sting you, but blaming other people isn't going to solve anything.
Just shut up already, you annoying witch. Why did I have to end up with you as a mom? Where's my real mom? Why isn't she here? I wish you were still here instead of you. You ruined my chances of ever moving up the company just by existing. Now this little nobody with half-ass ideas is going to get all the credit I should have.
Emma, please just listen to yourself.
No! You ruined everything! I had a plan all worked out, and you blew it up. And also, your cooking stinks. I never want you to cook anything for me ever again.
Oh, Carly, are you there? I just heard that my daughter is engaged to be married, and I just have to know it's true. Because I heard that she's going to be marrying some higher-up who happens to work for a huge company. So basically, my little girl struck it rich. I couldn't be more proud.
Wait a second, you've heard that Emma's going to be getting married? I haven't heard anything like that at all.
You mean that you two live in the same house and you didn't even know that she was getting married? Just what kind of mother are you anyways? I mean, this is huge news. And you're hearing about it through me, her real mother?
But I'm still so confused.
Well, I suppose that means you haven't heard about the news from Emma yourself then. And I have no idea how to get a hold of her either. But I just heard rumors that she was getting married. That's the whole reason I'm messaging you in the first place.
Well, I suppose that I can just go and ask Emma myself. And just to be clear, you are nothing to Emma, remember? So while I'm grateful to you for sharing this news to me, I'm going to stop responding to you now.
Hold on just a second. We're not through here. You can't just take what I gave you and run off like that.
And just what more is there to talk about? You've told me what you heard and I said thank you, but Emma still thinks that you're dead.
You really are a terrible mother. Do you know that? I still don't get how you could tell a daughter that her real mother is dead when I'm right here.
Excuse me? The only horrible mother here is you, Sadie. Do you have any idea how much you've put your poor husband and Emma through? The whole reason Emma thinks you're dead in the first place is because Doug and I talked and agreed that it would be easier that way.
Oh yes, I'm always the bad guy, aren't I? I'm literally the worst mother in the world. But I still have my ways of getting information when I want it. Like, through some Doug's old co-workers, or old teachers from school that Emma went to. And I still haven't forgotten how you two sued me for spending all the money Doug and I had set away from Emma's education. I was pretty wild back then, wasn't I?
If you realize that, then please understand why we never want anything to do with you ever again. And that includes Emma.
Well, I'm afraid that you and I are just going to have to agree to disagree on this one. Because while I can admit that I'm a horrible mother, the fact of the matter is, I'm still Emma's mother. And what that means is that I want to get half of all the money Emma gets on her wedding day.
Wait a second, you're trying to take money from your own daughter's wedding?
That's right. I'm the girl's mother, and that means what is hers is mine. So I should get my fair share. I need money to pay back this latest lawsuit what I'm dealing with.
Let me guess, you cheated on another married man.
Well, this one wasn't my fault. The guy said that we would get married. He told me that things with his wife weren't going so good, but it was still taking too long for me. So I called his wife and told her to hurry up and leave her husband. But then, after they got divorced, the man told me that I blew off his life and left me.
And then the wife sued the two of you for the affair? Well, you can't pretend like that's anyone else's fault but your own. But how could you even think to want to use your own daughter's wedding money to pay off your debts?
Well, if you don't want to make Emma pay, then I have another idea. You can pay off all my debts in Emma's place. I think about $20,000 should do it.
I'm sorry, but no one is under any obligation to give you any money, and you have no idea what you're talking about.
What are you talking about? I kept my existence a secret from my daughter for 20 years. Do you think I'm going to keep doing that for free? Now, do you want to write a check or send it over an app?
Hey, Emma, I'm really sorry to bother you while you're at work, but we have something important we need to talk about.
Can you not leave me alone for a whole day? What could you possibly want now? You've already ruined my chances with a Mother's Day proposal, and now I have more work that I have to do.
Again, I'm really sorry to bug you while you're so busy, but you just never talk to me at home. There was something that I needed to ask you. Are you engaged to be married?
Wait, what? How did you figure that out? Who told you? I haven't even told my dad that I'm engaged to this guy, so how did you figure it out?
Emma, why wouldn't you tell your father and I that you were getting married? This is huge, amazing news and something to be happy about. Although I would have loved to hear the good news from you yourself.
Shut up, you nosy old woman. I was never ever going to tell you about my wedding, ever. But I guess somehow someone let the secret out and told you.
What do you mean you were never going to tell me? This is huge news. Why wouldn't you tell your parents this?
What did you just say? How many times do I have to tell you that we are not related? You are not my mom, and you need to stop trying to act like you are. You're just a faker, a phony. You're not my mom.
Of course I'm your mom. Who was it that raised you for the past 20 years, huh?
What do you want, a medal or something? You're nothing but an over-glorified babysitter to me. I will never ever think of you as my mother.
Emma, why are you acting like this?
Well, since the cat's out of the bag, I may as well tell you everything. I'm going to be marrying someone from my work. He works in the upper management of my company, and we've been going out basically since I started this. And not that long ago, he proposed to me.
I had no idea that you were even dating anyone at all.
Well, my fiancé's family is very rich and powerful, and they have a bunch of rich and powerful friends too. So, I didn't want you getting involved since I know that you'd ruin it for me like you do everything else, and that's why I didn't say anything.
How can you say that I would ruin this for you? And do you really even think being related by blood matters that much? It doesn't change the fact that I was the only one raising you alongside your father. It doesn't erase all the past times we've had together as mother and daughter.
What times were those again? I can't seem to remember anything right now. All I remember is how many times you've gotten in my way. It's no wonder I hate you so much.
Emma, how can you speak to me like this?
And you better believe that I'm not going to invite you to the wedding. I'm only going to invite my dad. But there's no way I'm going to have my make-believe mom there.
What did you just call me?
I don't get why you're trying to talk to me like that. You know I don't think of you as my mom. Instead, I'm going to save a seat for my real mother, who'll be watching me getting married from above.
Are you really sure you want to do that? Do you really think of me so little as your mother that you wouldn't even invite me to your wedding?
You are never going to know any detail about it, Carly. So don't bother snooping around for any info on it. The only mom of mine I want there is my real mom.
Well, if that's really what you want, I can just invite her for you then.
What do you mean?
I mean, you don't need to leave an empty seat for her because she can actually just come and sit there instead. I mean it, I'll tell her that you want her there at your wedding. I'm sure she'll be overjoyed.
Wait a second. What are you saying? Are you trying to tell me that my mom is still alive? But you and Dad always told me that she died in a car accident when I was just a baby.
That's right, we did, but that was a lie that your dad and I agreed would be better to tell you. Truth is that your parents divorced when you were very little and we thought you wouldn't understand, so instead we told you that your birth mother was dead.
But she's actually alive this whole time? My real biological mom. Yes, she has to be at my wedding. I need to have her there.
Okay, then I'll go ahead and do that. And I'll just stay at home like the little faker that I am.
This is perfect. This is going to be the best wedding ever. Please reach out to my real mom and tell her that I'm so excited to meet her. Get this woman out of my wedding right now. Please, do you think you could come over here and deal with this for me? I promise that you'll be my real mom from now on, but just come and help me.
And I was just about to turn on my favorite show while I sit down for lunch. What is it, Emma? What can your fake mother do for you today?
You might be a fake mom, but you're better than this horrible lady. She's completely ruining my wedding right now. I've never met anyone like her. She's awful. I can't believe that we're actually related.
Ruining your wedding? But I thought that you wanted Sadie to be there for you on this day.
Well, she showed up to the wedding and immediately grabbed a bottle of wine for herself and was just drinking it out of the bottle. That was a while ago, and now she's completely wasted. And she's just making a total mess of herself in my wedding. I tried to get her to meet my husband, and she just told him to meet him in the bathrooms in an hour. It totally ruined the whole mood for the day. Even when I tried to laugh it off and tell everyone she was joking, it was too late. And then she just started cursing at my husband's parents. Then she said that they'd all be family from now on and that she wanted them to send her a lifetime supply of wine.
Wow, well, it sounds like she was just making a fool of herself in front of everyone.
Then she tried to get all buddy-buddy with my future mother-in-law and started asking her all these perverted questions. Everyone was just watching in horror as my mom went from person to person saying horrible, vile things.
Wow, she really didn't hold back at all, did she?
And Dad didn't even do anything either. He just sat back and watched as it all happened. He just looked at me and told me that this is what I was asking for by insisting she come. The whole day was completely ruined.
Well, I have to agree with your father on this one. I knew that it wouldn't be a good thing if your mother showed up to your wedding.
How did it all come to this?
But don't forget that you were the one that said that you didn't want me there, so I'm not about to go and put out that fire for you. This is the wedding you wanted, like it or not. Maybe just think of it as a comedy show and you can feel a bit better about it.
What are you talking about? This isn't what I wanted for my wedding at all. How am I supposed to enjoy the day like this? My husband won't look me in the eyes anymore.
I'm sorry, but I don't think it's my place as your fake mother to say anything. So I'll just sit here and watch my shows now if you don't mind.
Oh man, my head is just pounding. I think I might have just a little too much to drink yesterday because I don't remember the wedding at all. But the venue handed me the bill because I apparently broke a bunch of stuff.
You really made a mess of it yesterday, or so I heard. According to Emma, you were quite the sight at the wedding. But I would pay that bill because it is very real.
Are you kidding me? This bill is for $30,000. I don't have that kind of money. You should pay it instead.
And just why should I have to? I didn't have anything to do with the wedding.
Well, isn't that just sad? So you really didn't show up to the wedding at all. I was really meant to take your place there. That's hilarious. But if that's the case, then you should pay for it then.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
I don't care if you don't get it. Just pay the money. You're Emma's mom too, so you need to take responsibility for what her real mom did.
I'm afraid that I'm no longer Emma's mom. I decided to cut her out of my life entirely. You're gonna have to take responsibility for your actions.
What do you mean you cut her off out of your life?
I mean that I spent decades of my life raising her only for her to treat me like I wasn't real. I talked to her father and he agreed it was probably best. So anyways, this is all your problem to deal with.
But I can't pay this much money. Besides, I still haven't gotten any of Emma's wedding money.
If you want to negotiate that, you're gonna have to speak with Emma yourself. I'm sure she'll listen to what you have to say since you're her real mother.
You have to do something. My wedding was cancelled. My fiancé said that he couldn't marry me, and both his parents said that I could never be part of their family.
Oh, and you were so close too. Oh well.
My life is just one failure after the next. First, my proposal wasn't chosen. Now I've lost my fiancé, and I'm so embarrassed that I'll never be able to show my face at work again.
What do you mean by that?
Carly, I'm so sorry for calling you my fake mom. I realize now that you're the only mother I've ever had, so please, can you help me buy all these cancellation fees for the wedding?
Wow, you really just dove into asking for money, didn't you?
Please. My work isn't going so well, and I was just taking out my anger on those around me. I really do think of you as my mom. I'm glad that we all live together.
Well, that's not going to last for much longer since your father sold the house.
Wait, what?
Yep, we talked it out and we decided to cut you off entirely. And though we've been in this house for many years, it's time that we leave it behind. We've already signed all the papers and sealed the deal.
You have got to be kidding me.
No, it's the truth. You have until the end of the day to pack up your things. The real estate people are coming to inspect the house this weekend.
But then where are you and Dad going to live? I want to stay with you two.
I'm not going to tell you that because we never want to see you again.
You can't be serious.
So thank you for living with your fake mother up until now, but you can be free and live your real life now. After that, we threw all of Emma's things outside the house for her to sort through and drove off to live in our new home. I heard that Emma quit her job and moved into a tiny apartment where she's living now. She tried asking around to friends and family about where Father and I had moved to, but they kept our secret for us and no one ever told her. As for Sadie, she was forced to pay for the damages she's caused, and I heard she ended up having to borrow from some pretty shady people to pay it back.